And now, back to the Me That Remains podcast with Amy Grant.
The me that remains.
I picked that up as well.
Yeah.
You know, and the arc of the album goes from very introspective, but then it jumps to a few things where it's like, yeah, these are tough topics, but there's a groove and a rhythm to them. Particularly like Sunny Day. It's like, yeah, life is hard. We're going to get to it. We're going to talk a little bit more about it, but you know, nothing like a sunny day. It's like life is hard, but you know what? The sun is coming up. That's something I say to myself and friends and former students. Like, the sun is going to come up tomorrow. I know it's a cliche saying, but that's what it means. It's coming up tomorrow. What are you going to do to take part in it?
Yes.
And, you know, moving on, I mean, because these songs are really deeply full of perspective. You mentioned it, Till We Get It Right. Facing the challenges, I have here, facing the challenges of the relationships that we share. And, you know, you don't have to know everyone to recognize that we all have a societal, collective relationship with each other, this we that you're talking about. And in the song, I feel like you're encouraging us to keep finding understanding no matter how challenging it is. What did you draw upon from your own life as you recorded that song, as you were in there taking these musical beds?
Oh my goodness! Well, that song "Till We Get It Right" was written by Mac McAnally and Caroline Jones, and I heard it and thought, oh my gosh, if my life were like a broadcast, it used to be that whatever app was on your phone with directions. You know, you take a wrong turn and the voice would say, recalculating, recalculating. I thought, yeah, my whole life has been recalculation. Like, you don't really, I mean, we learn the best by screwing up.
True.
I mean, that life is a great teacher.
True.
And you know, that's whether you're talking to somebody younger about charting your course. To me, it's like, oh no, all the best lessons come from failure. You know, you learn how to hold someone's secret when you have actually told somebody's secret. When you've lost a person's trust, you know how much it matters, and you fight to gain that trust back. And then going forward, you know what it feels like to be trusted. Yeah, like everything in life, as you go, oh yeah, life is a steep learning curve.
Any ordinary fool could see that the thing about you and me, even when we disagree, we're gonna hold each other tight until we get it right. Till 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 we get it right. Hold your temper, get your fit. Talk it over and apologize. We ain't ever gonna quit, whether it's easy or it's otherwise. Till we get it right. Till we get it right. Ooh. Till we get it right. Working on it.
So many of us, I feel like there's a lot of people in society who are afraid of failure because of how it may look to others and how they may feel themselves if they failed. And they're afraid to open themselves up to this great learning experience that failure brings. There's a lot of pressure to look as if you have made it. You know, there's the fake it till you make it crowd. There's the people who've made it crowd. There's this pressure to look like I have it all together, particularly with social media and so much of our lives being online for those who choose to live that way. If I've got to have it all together, I've got to look like I've mastered this thing. You know, people, I'm a Generation Xer, I'm 51. From those folks to kids as young as 21 are feeling that sort of pressure. But what you're saying is, no. That's not the way. Open yourself up to the failure. To me, that feels like a form of bravery that we're not really exhibiting.
We ought to be talking about it. You know, I mean, Vince and I, we've got a blended family of 5 kids. What we are all in the process of doing And really, since in the last 3 years, we have given ourselves the gift and the license to speak our truth and to ask questions of each other. And after I took that whack on the head in my bike wreck, I think I lost my inner monologue. And so, for a while. And so it was like, if he and I were in a tiff, I just remembered whatever my old toolkit was, it felt different.
Okay.
And so, I don't really want to talk about this because everybody's private relationships, so much of our life is not private.
Yes.
So I'm suddenly feeling protective of that. But even of myself to say, maybe being passive aggressive or turning your back or whatever, I guess that worked before. Why are you doing that? Like the new questions, why did you do that for so long? Why? I remember I disappointed one of my kids. She had told me she wanted to talk. And she came over and, we sat on the porch. We talked for a while. We sat inside. We talked for a while. I think she was at the house for several hours. And I had gotten an invitation from somebody I hold very dear to come for dinner. It was hours after the let's talk. And so I said, hey, I'm going to bring my daughter. Oh, I'd love to see her. This is going to be great. And anyway, so it's getting toward that time. The things are converging. I had planned a little too much. I'd cut a little too tight. And I said, hey, do you want to go have dinner at this person's house? And my daughter had her hands in the sink and she was kind of washing off something. And she said, did you have that dinner plan before I asked you if we could visit? That I had something I needed to talk to you about. And I said, no, I made that plan afterwards. And she turned around and she had tears in her eyes and she said, I had a dinner plan already, but I really needed to talk to you. And I felt like that you didn't create enough space for us. That seems like a small thing to say, but she said, I could have gotten in my car, given you a hug, kept it to myself, not said anything. But she said, I have enough respect for us and the relationship that we have to say, I had hoped this was going to be different. And I gave her a big hug, and I said, I'm sorry. And I was back off the road. It feels good to be with loved ones. I spend a lot of time in a hotel room by myself. Yeah. But just the fact that she spoke what she was feeling and that she felt it enough that she cried and that I did kind of what I do. I tried to do a little too much. Mm-hmm. And she said, the crazy thing? The fact that I said it and that you heard me and that we hugged, she said, all that angst is gone. Yeah. And it was just like, oh my gosh, is it possible that when we're vulnerable enough to just say, I need you to know that this mattered to me? Because none of us can make decisions for each other, but to be vulnerable enough to say, this is how I was feeling. And then for somebody else to be equally present. Mm-hmm. I didn't see that. This is what I was feeling. And to hear each other. Yeah. It really, like I went, oh my, this is the math. Is it as simple as this?
That's beautiful. Because you allowed yourself to just be a human being with your daughter. And that's tough for parents and kids. Mm-hmm. because of the complexities of the relationship, the nature of being a child to someone, and the nature of being someone's parent. There are responsibilities, there's roles, there's duties that we've taken on. And that reminds me of another song that really stood out to me, Please Don't Make Me Beg.
Yeah.
You and your daughter saw each other as humans in that moment. You didn't beg. Because I feel like Please Don't Make Me Beg is a plea to see the humanity in each of us, no matter who you are, no matter what you've done, which is very difficult in these times because there's people who are standing trenchant in their beliefs and their actions. Some belief in actions are altruistic, and some belief in actions that people are taking now in society are not, are kind of based in cruelty. But the ability to see the humanity in someone who is being cruel even. There's folks who are refusing to do that, and I'm feeling like I don't necessarily think that's going to get it for the collective we and all of us. That song, you know, your daughter asked, did you make those plans? Okay. In a way, it was Please Don't Make Me Beg for seeing humanity, but you did see it. And she saw where you were coming from, and suddenly the tension dissipates.
Yeah.
I'm sure that was an evolution in the relationship, not only that you had with her, but the rest of your kids, huh?
Yes. Well, it's everything to me is a reminder with communication to go, I don't know what the world looks like from your vantage point. And however somebody, it's interesting because a woman got, I was in an airport recently, this was last week, and I was waiting to board a flight. And a woman got off the plane, and she was screaming obscenities, and I was just watching the people around her, and you know, some people are like, I can't, you know, just all the different reactions. Well, within the last year, I had a friend that was trying to get to her mother's bedside before she died, and the plane was delayed. And she was trying to get off the plane and got a text. I'm so sorry to hear your mother's passed. And it came from, like, she was going, I find out through a text, and I just landed in that city. All I thought was, because that woman, I knew that woman was trying to get somewhere. And because I had just had a friend talk about how hard that was. And I think a string of stuff came out of her mouth, but she was around people and she said, my mother just died. And the people around her were like, they consoled her. They stepped out of the way. They let her go forward. And anytime somebody's like, wah! What they're doing is they're crying out. It might look like, you know, anger is so easy to access. Anger is like it's a masking emotion. It's the easiest thing to access. But instead to go, you know, what's behind that? Behind that is hurt. Behind that is disappointment. Behind that is all the things that everybody's afraid to look at all that. And so it doesn't matter how somebody's acting out to go, there's a whole life of experience behind that action.
Yes.
And it's not just that. You know, I used to walk around outside barefoot, trying to be connected to the earth, trying to, you know, like think of people with whom I shared very little values. We felt like we were on opposite sides of an issue, and I'd go, I've just got to pray for us. And I would just have to keep scrolling back with that person. Might be somebody well known by everybody, might be private. And I'm like, I got to go back until they have little teeth, you know, just to, you know, before our lives so moved apart. Yeah.
What you're saying to me makes me feel like now I'm seeing Please Don't Make Me Beg in a whole new light. It's Please Don't Make Me Beg is coming from the person who is having that outburst that is shocking people in the middle of, let's say, Broadway of downtown Nashville. And as the kids say, the term now is crashing out. You know, a tantrum, an outburst, you know, they're crashing out. That crashing out person, please don't make me beg to help you see what has driven me here.
Yes.
But also, please don't make me beg to the homeless person who may be on the street or the young busker, please don't make me beg for you to see my humanity. I don't know if I can take being ignored like this much longer.
Yeah. Makes you think, really, the first act of love is seeing.
Mm-hmm.
Just to see.
Mm-hmm.
And so how different, the power around each one of us, the power of choice that we have, starts with, am I willing to see the world around me? Am I willing to see the person who's checking me out,
Mm-hmm.
at this store thing? Am I willing to, if my preferences aren't being honored, will I agitate and amp up, or will I see the world around me and be a part of it? And
You mentioned preferences, how we default to our preferences. It feels like it's an opportunity to evolve and look at our preferences differently. Obviously, I prefer this, I want this. A lot of people justify it, find justification for their actions to adhere or to try to bend the world, let's say, to their preferences. A lot of the frustration. I know I've gone through that personally. It's like, Khalil, you're going to stop trying to bend the world to you, or you're going to live in the world, I found a lot more happiness and peace when I chose the latter of that. But that's just really beautiful. You wrote this song. Let me get this right. You wrote this song with John Foreman, correct? Mm-hmm. You both wrote that song together. As you were piecing it together and really coming from that lyrics, where were you drawing from? What were those early morning thoughts as your pen was hitting paper?
Well, that song was, I think we wrote that like over 10 years ago.
Wow.
And so, and Switchfoot was in town, and John and I had met, I can't remember where we met, backstage somewhere. And he said, next time I'm in town, let's connect. I don't even think I knew they were doing a show at Bridgestone, so at the arena. And he said, I've got time, I can drop by. And I already had the first part, the verse and the channel section. And I said, I'm just trying to figure out how to land a chorus with this. And of course, in an instant, he just like, that's why you're good. And he said, hey, do you want to come to the show tonight? Or I've got someplace, I got to go to sound check. And I was like, oh, are you playing somewhere? And of course, they'd sold out the arena. It's a big town, lots going on. But yay that he made time, to come by here. And yes, and as we were just collecting songs for this record, I think I've sung that song twice in my life in 13 years, and I had forgotten about it. And Jennifer Cook, my friend, we worked together, and she said, what about this song? You sang it once on stage? I said, I don't think I can remember it. And she said, I think when you sang it at the Bluebird, I think there's a YouTube. And then I heard it, and I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, I remember that song. And you know what? It felt like it was the right time for it. It became part of the editorial of the story being told.
When I opened up my heart, I thought I'd put that need to bed. Oh, please don't make me beg. Please don't make me beg for your time and your attention and the thoughts inside your head. Oh, please don't make me beg. Please don't make me beg. The meeting of our minds, the touching of our skin. We both have different ways to let each other in. We want the same thing. To be loved, we need the same things. To have enough, we want the same thing. Someone to trust, we need the same things. Oh, please don't make me